Good evening, gentlemen, and a few of you ladies that may be listening. This is Spiritual Art of War, back at it again with another episode. And this time, we're going to talk about something that I've always thought about and I've actually had these kind of discussions with in time past. But sometimes people have a hard time with this subject, and that's power. Power, in particular, leverage. Okay, leverage. There's a word called lever. This the root word of leverage is lever. Lever is like when you pull something. If you use a lever is going to give you the ability to do a work or complete a task. Okay, and it comes from an access of power that you are able to hold on to. Okay, you learn this in physics, but it works even on a social level. So what do I mean by that? A lot of black men, not all, because there's some that are willing to use that leverage, but unfortunately a lot of times they use it negatively, and that's why I think a lot of men get scared of, even some women. But men need to put themselves in a situation when they're dealing with a woman that they're interested in to be in a position where you have leverage, and you make sure that you wield that leverage to your advantage. And if you're a good man, you're a man that has good intentions, the leverage that you're using is going to be beneficial to that woman in the long run. It's not meant to harm her. It's meant for you to keep power in your hands so that way you can lead from a position of power. Okay? And you're not giving up that, because you can give up leverage. Okay? You can give up leverage. It's just like a seesaw. If you're on a seesaw and you're on the shorter end of the seesaw and someone else on the longer end of the seesaw, they have more leverage. Okay? Because they're further back. So gravity, the pull and the power angle is going to be tipped in their favor. Okay? And that's just an example of leverage. So if you're a man that's average earning, it's probably better for you to deal with a woman that's lower earning or no earning and use that leverage to your advantage, especially if she likes you. If she already likes you, right? If she already likes you and you got leverage, you got an economic leverage over her, and the reason why she's with you is not because of a lack of economics on her end, then you can use that to your benefit to build a foundation of your relationship to where you're able to gain her trust, she's able to respect you, and then therefore you can now utilize and employ her for your benefit to expand what you got going on, even economically. And a lot of men don't like that, even when it comes to age gap relationships. I'm like, that's why older women talk against it. Because they'll say the reason all these older men get with these younger women because they know they can manipulate them. Well, how are they manipulating them? If the men are manipulating them, that implies that these men have leverage, which is their knowledge base. And women don't like to be in a disadvantaged position where they don't know much. It doesn't mean they're being taken advantage of. It just means that they're in a position of weakness and you're in a position of strength, which is a good thing for you as a man. And I think that any man who is against being in the position of strength over a woman is very silly. Okay? It's just silly to throw that away or to feel bad about having that. That's why a lot of men are in the way they are. You want to have this power couple. You and your woman are equal. She has equal say. And you're more comfortable with that because of the environment you grew up in or how you were raised, as far as, maybe even teaching, being taught that. That's the way you should be, be in a position where a woman has a say so. And you don't feel comfortable having a large amount of say. And you want your woman to feel like she has a large amount of say. Then you put yourself in a disadvantaged position, unfortunately, by thinking that way. And then you get the results that you get in the market. Okay? So you got to maintain a level of power in those situations. And that's why women don't like that. They don't like that, but that's a very good position for a man to be in. Because if a woman doesn't know anything about getting a rental property, getting, credit, getting her credit score up, knowing what a credit report is, knowing how to read it, okay, knowing how to get a rental property, apartment, all that stuff, knowing how to finance a vehicle, all these things that a lot of younger people are going to have to get introduced to. If you're the one that is in the position where you know these things and she doesn't know it and she's relying on you to like lead her because she just doesn't know it, but you can tell her, hey, you can tell her to do X, Y, and Z, and she does it, and she's like, okay, you can slowly introduce her to the knowledge base. You never let her have no more than you. You always keep something in the things in your pocket that she can never really understand. Okay, not something that's going to be detrimental to her survival, but something that is going to be beneficial for you to kind of have more access of knowledge to. But you see, a lot of times men, especially black men, because we've been oppressed, we look at power and leverage as an oppressive tool. So a lot of times we're just scared, like, man, if I end up, using that leverage, doesn't that make me the oppressor if I have power? That's why a lot of men don't believe in the patriarchy. Patriarchy means father's rule. A lot of men don't feel comfortable with that. They believe that they should be egalitarian, or they believe in the matriarchy because they're uncomfortable with power. Let me tell you something. Black women are not uncomfortable with power. Not only do they seek after it, when they get a hold of it, they don't let it go. They'll rather let the relationship fall to crap than to let go of the power. We've seen it. Even to their own detriment. They'll rather hold on to that power until the relationship dissolves because they like it that much. You know what I'm saying? They like the power that much. But men, for some reason, when men get a hold of power, they try and find the way to divvy it out to the woman, in a way that's detrimental to the relationship, detrimental to them, the relationship, the children, and whatever future plans that you might have. All because you wanted to appease her feeling some type of way about not having control about this or that. Even though everything's functioning correctly under the way you're ruling it, you'll make her the captain of the ship, and then she run it right into the iceberg, man, like the Titanic. Not knowing that she ain't got the skills to navigate that ship. That's why you the captain. Okay? I remember this girl, Jada Bell. She podcaster. She's like a Christian. She talked about how her man is the captain. He's the captain. She's like, you the captain. That's how a woman should feel, bro. And she even talks about it, about how she respects the intelligence of her husband. Her husband's taught her so many things, and she's thankful for that. But guess what? He was in a position of leverage over her. He was in a position of power. He had a stronger knowledge base, and she had to respect it. A lot of you guys, y'all want to be out here with an educated woman who thinks she know everything. She done went and ate from the knowledge of the tree and good and evil. Now she thinks she can tell you what to do. Well, I'd be laughing when a woman act like she know more than me. Especially when it comes to like life. Now, if she has an expertise, she done learned from a man about something, being a nurse or whatever. Or, I can't think of many things that woman will be better than me at. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like leadership qualities and stuff like that, that's men, because men are thinkers. We supposed to be not always in our emotions, right? We have to think logically, critically, right? We have to reason, okay? But a lot of men don't feel comfortable with that leverage. They don't feel comfortable. So let me know what you think. I'm going to make this an ongoing series kind of talking about the importance of having this in a relationship dynamic. But like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
Machiavelli said, don't get married if you are poor. He who has nothing to offer will always be dominated. Love without power is an illusion, a golden prison where you are used and then discarded. Look around you. Who respects a man without wealth? Who listens to a man with nothing to offer? Even love in the end follows money. It will be said that love is about the heart, but the truth is the world does not run on hearts. It runs on power. It runs on leverage. And when you have none, you are not loved, you are tolerated. Your value is conditional and you become disposable. The truth is, if you marry without power, you become a slave. Accumulate strength, accumulate wealth before you seek love, because love is not given to the weak, it is rented to them until someone stronger comes along.